What is ghusl?
Ghusl or Islamic ritual bath is the washing of the whole body, including rinsing the mouth, sniffing water and blowing it from the nose, with the intention of removing any cells from the state of major ritual impurity in order to be able to perform all acts of worship.
What necessitates ghusl?
Ghusl is required as an obligatory act in the following cases. 1. Ejaculation of semen due to desire, nocturnal emission, or the like. 2. Sexual intercourse, even if it does not result in ejaculation. 3. Following menstruation. 4. Following postpartum bleeding.
Notes.
Ejaculation, that is the discharge of semen accompanied by sexual pleasure, whether asleep or awake. This applies to males and the similar case to females as well. The state of janabah, which includes sexual intercourse, meaning the insertion of the male sexual organ into the female sexual organ, whether it is accompanied by the ejaculation of semen or not. 3 and 4 means cessation of menstruation and postnatal bleeding.
Is the ghusl for a man and woman the same?
The woman's ritual bath is like the man's, except that she is not required to undo braided hair when washing for sexual impurity. However, most scholars have ruled that she must undo her braids after a menstrual period or after post-childbirth bleeding. There are two types of ghusl: complete ghusl and acceptable ghusl. Complete ghusl was the Prophet's regular practice, while acceptable ghusl was his occasional or rare practice. Both are valid, but it is recommended to stick to the first method of ghusl most of the time, and to practice the second method from time to time and, in particular in the event of valid excuses.
How to perform complete ghusl?
The manner of performing complete ghusl. Before starting, you must intend in your heart that you are performing ghusl to purify yourself from the major state of impurity without uttering such intention verbally. Intention to perform ghusl is necessary because it is the dividing line between acts performed as a mere custom and deeds which are rewardable acts of worship. Say,
Bismillah.
which means, I begin with the name of Allah. Wash the hands up to the wrists 3 times and then wash any dirt from the private parts and anywhere else that is contaminated with traces of impurity. Note: do not touch the private parts with the hands after having cleaned it because that invalidates wudu. Therefore it is advisable to wash the inner side of the thighs from the beginning to avoid this contact. Wash your hands again before performing wudu. Perform wudu as you would for the prayer. 1. Make the intention of making wudu for the removal of minor impurities, then wash the hands up to the wrists 3 times. 2. Rinse the mouth with water 3 times. 3. Sniff water up the nostrils, and then blow it out 3 times. 4. Wash the entire face thrice using both hands from the top of the forehead down to the bottom of the chin, and from ear to ear. 5. Wash the arms 3 times up to the upper end of the elbows, right arm first, and then, left arm. Arms should be rubbed while they are being washed. Six. Wipe the head with wet hands, from the front of the head to the nape, and then back to the front of the head. 7. Wipe the ears by inserting the index fingers into the auditory opening while wiping the outer part with the thumbs. 8. Wash the feet up to the ankles 3 times starting with the right foot. Then the left. Both feet should be rubbed while they are being washed, and water should freely pass between the toes. Note: you may delay washing of the feet until the end of the Ghusl. Then you should pour at least 3 handfuls of water on your head, running the fingers through the hair so that water reaches the roots of your hair and scalp. Then pour water all over the body, right side first followed by left side. Use your hands to guide the water to all parts of the body. You should make sure to wash the armpits, ears, navel and the places that water cannot reach easily. Ensure that no part of the body is left dry. Finally, you should then wash the feet if not already done while making wudu before performing the Ghusl.
Who to perform acceptable ghusl?
Actually, acceptable Ghusl is the fulfillment of certain conditions rather than a method of Ghusl specifying everything in detail, i.e. when the minimum Ghusl requirements are met the rest can be done in any way. The following instructions are necessary so that your Ghusl is acceptable and valid, and that at its end you can perform your acts of worship without resorting to performing wudu again. Instructions. 1. Form the intention in your heart to purify yourself from major impurity. 2. Wash any dirt from the private parts, the area surrounding them and anywhere else that the impurity had reached. 3. Do not touch the private parts with the hands after having cleaned it because that invalidates wudu. 4. Wash the entire body from head to toe with pure water, making sure that the water reaches the roots of the hair and the places that it cannot reach easily, such as the armpits and backs of the knees, as well as rinsing the mouth and nose, according to the correct scholarly opinion. The person who has done complete or acceptable Ghusl while respecting the conditions that we mentioned for each method separately, is automatically in a state of wudu, and there is no need to perform wudu again, unless he does something that invalidates wudu whilst doing Ghusl or after it.